So what we're working on is we're on day 4, and what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be bringing in the correct resource server. Last time we had followed this template that I linked up on the YouTube that had this decouple authorization server from resource server, and we had followed this guide. But this one didn't end up because of the way that we ultimately made my resource server. So the resource server that I chose, if you remember, you just go to YouTube or Google, authith, and then we want to say C#, this one. And then it'll be this. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Where did it go? Oh, I'm forgetting OAuth. Here we go. So we were using this one here. So what we're going to do, good morning, Serializer. How are you doing today? It's very nice to see you again. Welcome back. All right, so what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and download this, and we're going to import the correct resource server, which is not the one we were using from before. So as soon as this thing downloads, it's going to open. And we'll put the link up to that after this as well. I was mowing the lawn, but it started raining. That sounds like a poor time to mow the lawn. Good time to stop. All right. So here's our authorization server. And this is the one that we used. And then we chopped this thing all up. And you can watch that on Git if you wanted. Hey, Milonthepic. Thank you for that host with 1 viewer. Very much appreciate that. Mattathias. How's it going, buddy? It's great to see you. It's been a long time. How goes it? All right, so the one that we wanted to bring in here was this resource server. And we're just going to go ahead and bring this piece in, and then we'll make this one work. So let's come over here, and we're going to create the new project on this. And we need to... Milonthepic. Thank you for that follow. Very much appreciate that. That follow. If you guys have any questions, please make sure you pop them in the channel. Check us out, discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com. It's 3:15 p.m. here, says Serializer. Hey, thank you, Milton Thepic. Same time zone as me. So it's good to hear, though, that this time zone is working good for you guys. I'm trying to find the right one, and this is actually one of the easier ones for me to hit. What we're doing is it's a client, and it's a web API, and it's our resource web API. Let me delete the old one, because we don't need this. And let's add in the new one. And then we'll add the files. I'm doing good. And you? I'm doing great. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm doing great. Just call me Milton. Got it. You got it, Milton. Easy enough. All right. So here's the new files. So they've been brought in. This is to add a new project. We're not doing that. We're actually adding the existing project. It's a Visual Studio project, PHS, clients, web API, resource server. Yes. So the first thing is that I'm using framework 4.5.2, and currently this one is using 4.5, I believe. So we're going to make some modifications here. Let's change the assembly name to phs.webapi.resource. Okay. And then let's change it here. And then let's change it here. And then we need to go in and change the framework type. Milton says, I'm doing good. And you? I'm doing great. Yo, Serializer, says Mattathias. How goes it? And Serializer says, it's going all right-ish. It's like a reunion in here. All right. So here it is with the correct assembly name, the correct namespace. We've changed the name of the, we have to delete 2 of these pieces in here, right? In my, where's my open folder? Okay, we have to go into delete my bin and my OBJ. We probably have to reload some assemblies on this thing. Don't forget assembly information changes, says Serializer. I did, I got that. And then also I deleted the bin and the, okay, and so now it looks like I'm going to have to add in my packages. So again, using the package manager console, which we covered in the actual times. We want to do update packages, and then we want to do a reinstall, and it's going to be on my project name, phs.webapi.resource. That's wrong. Project namer. Nope, the actual button. I'm not sure what you mean. I just changed it here. You mean in here? It's all good. All right, we should be good to go now. Let's try to rebuild it. Yeah, the settings seemed okay when I looked in there. Okay, and so now I think that we're actually about ready to run. So what I want to do is I'm going to open up my IIS, and I want to show what sites we currently have running. We have my Pixel Horror Studios auth site running on 8081. If you recall, we did this before. Let me pull up my Postman, which is what we're using to issue HTTP requests. Oh, usually it doesn't change that on its own. Maybe it's a new setting. I don't know. That's an older version, I think. All right, let me make sure that I'm on a clean. Yeah. So if you recall, this is the endpoint that where we have this thing running at localhost 8081. We could also do this on my local IP, but I'm just doing the loop back. And I have two different forms currently available. I think this is resource owner credential. And probably this is going to error because, nope, we actually got our token. So this one doesn't include a refresh token, right? Just an access token. But if I included a client ID and a client secret, then it'll also issue me the refresh token. Sargon says 9091. Nice. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Sargon. Serializer says, I'm usually using 2015. I am at work. We're in 2015 at work. And then I'm using 2017 at home. 2017 gives me issues at work. Okay. So if I look at my databases, I should already have this thing. And it's committed, which is fine. So we're good to go. And now I should be able to run this resource server and use that to get a protected resource, which I have one here called Authorize, which should return this user identity. Now we do have one problem. If I look in here, this gave me a machine key. This machine key, that is defined. We don't want to use a globally available machine key. We want to generate our own. So I have a document for that. If you remember this one over here, the document we want is this one. And it's not even here. It's this. It's this PowerShell script. We have to run this generate machine key. So this is the script, so let's go ahead and copy it. And I'll put the links to this in the channel. Make sure you check out our YouTube at youtube.com/liverdevtrying, where these videos are going up if you need to get caught up. And if you have any questions, please put them in the channel. We've got a really active and supportive community here. So now what I want to do is I need to come over to my D:, I guess it's my E: in this case, and we're going to make a new text document, and I'm going to call this my, I don't know, machine key.ps1, and ps1 is the PowerShell script. So I should be able to open this up in the PowerShell, editor, right? PowerShell ISE. And I can paste in the script, and I'll need to save it, and then I can run the script. So now this script has been loaded, and so now I can actually just run my machine key. What is it? I think it's generate machine key. Generate machine key. And this works if you're using ASP.NET 4.5. Now, if you're using one of the earlier versions, you actually have to specify what type of fingerprint you want from this. So, oh, what is this? The one for that would be, I'm just looking at the reference here to get the command for it, would be this, generate machine key dash validation, and then it would be a SHA-1. And that gives me a SHA-1 validation key. Now, I don't need that. I can just use this AES one with SHA-256. And The reason for this is that my web API and my MVC are decoupled. My web API and my authorization server, those are decoupled. My authorization server is decoupled, so that way I can have multiple iterations of different resource servers, and this allows it to use the same tokens across them. So let's grab our decryption key here. We need to bring this one in. Well, I want to do it up here, because this one I think I already had formatted in the correct way. So here's how you add the machine key. It's this little bunch of code, and then you add in your new key, which in our case was, and I'm going to move this over here to the screen for a moment so that I can grab the info. This is our decryption key. This one here is our validation key. And my validation type was this HMAC SHA-256, like that. And then additionally, I need to move this machine key over here to the other resource server here. And now, because I have changed all of that, we need to, let's go ahead and open this in File Explorer and delete these two folders. Okay, let's do the same for this one. Then let's go into the database, and we need to clear it. What? Okay, we need to come into the domain level project and go to my code first project. We need to set that as my startup project, and we need to create, oh, sorry, it's my web API is my startup project. Let's check our connection string on it. That's fine. And now we should be able to update that database here. If you guys haven't, make sure you click the follow. Check us out, discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com. If you have any questions, we have a really active and supportive community. And if you are interested in seeing any of the legacy videos, they're all up on YouTube at youtube.com/liberdevtrying. Okay, we got a little bit of a problem here. It's telling me that your failed sections must appear only once. So somewhere in here, I have this twice. Let's look at this for a second. System web server, entity framework, connection provider type. Oh. Okay. Try it again. I believe you are ending system.web too early. I had an additional machine key in there. Yeah. It's applying my migrations. That's fine. Now we're going to push this thing out. So let's publish this out to the IIS folder, which is IIS-PHS-auth. It's going to delete my existing folder files. My authorization server is republishing. That's success. Not sure what that's all about. Looks like that needs to be cleaned. But now when we run this, we should be able to get the same tokens, except that they're going to work cross. And there it is. So you can see that I'm in fact getting tokens with the new machine key. So now let's verify that everything's working over here on the web API resource. We're going to set this as a startup project. I want to look real quick at my properties and see that it's running on the web at 38.38.5. So let's run it. I'm going to go to Postman. Let's issue the get. And I think I have like a default controller in here called me. And we'll double check that here in a minute. Good morning, Piku Fighter. How are you doing? I think I saw you streaming. No, maybe. I'm not sure. How are you doing today? It's good to see you again. Okay. So now the resource server is running. So I should be able to, if we come over and look at my controller, you see I have me at this API controller, and it's just called get. So that means it's just going to be me at get. And we're going to run it, and it's going to tell me authorization has been denied. We'll take in my token that I was issued here. We'll drop in my token over here as a bearer. Sorry, that's incorrect. It's a bearer because that's the type of token. And then it's a authorization. Let's run that. And now you can see that we successfully have decoupled our resource server and our web API. Okay, so back over here then on my, let's see, I have this thing, and then I should have a, where is that? I need to have a notepad here. Let's open this up, and it's called time or something like that on my desktop. And it's because I don't have tempo going at the moment on my Jira, so it's 8/21/2017. We started right at 6 a.m. to 06:30, and that's going to be decouple resource and web and authorization web API. Okay, so I think the next thing that we want to do that's working is that we probably want to bring in the correct MVC. I can close this PowerShell script now, right? And now I guess I could come over here to my get and do my, we could create a new branch here, and this is going to be called feature, and we're going to call this MVC. And we're going to commit that out to my GitHub. This MVC is going to be called, oh wait, I'm on the wrong place again, aren't I? I'm in the desktop. I'm doing this on my desktop, aren't I? That's fine then. Okay. So this is looking pretty good. Let's clear this. And now that everything is working, we can bring in my MVC. So